What's up, Internet? So I'm putting magnets on. I don't know how exciting that is, but that's what I'm doing today. Just talking, yapping while I have Fastenet. These ones tore through the bag. These washers. They put steel washers in a tiny Ziploc bag with these magnets, and they ripped through. I don't know how smart that is. It'll definitely be going on the review. Titanic screws. How is this supposed to work? The weirdest thing. Does the screw need to be that big? No instructions. Where does the washer go? Oop, there's the hole. How is this supposed to work? So, this... Look how big this screw is, though. Fucking huge. So we're gonna... There's two types of washers. There's the broken banded one. Can't really see that. It's got a break in it. And then that one goes in first. That one does not want to go in, right? That one doesn't want to go in at all. It doesn't fit. How about this? Does this fit? It does not fit in the hole. This washer does not fit in the hole. The fuck is I supposed to do with this? Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Put this on. Screw it in. And then just have a fucking long ass screw sticking out of it. Not as easy as it looks. I get it. So you put the washer and the nut on top of up there. That must be what it is. Yeah, I developed holographic speed painting from meditating. This is how you meditate. There's two types. There's like come in contact with yourself meditation. Does the fucking broken one go first? I don't know. I'm going to put the broken one first and then the thick one second. I guess this is good enough. That? Is that what it's supposed to be? I have no idea. So, there's a type of meditation where they're like focusing on nature or coming up to yourself. To me, you want to call the owner of the universe over and over and over again. Also, to me, I found that there's nobody who needs to be taught this, really. Like, you're going to teach someone how to be spiritual, you're just being a little Dominion Lord. Nobody asked you to do that. Tell them all. Really? They really said tell everyone, or is it bullshit? Are you getting the meal? Now let's try to put the ring on the inside of you. Does that fit? With the fucking screw. It kind of fits. The ring kind of fits on the bottom. So let's put this one like this. OCD. I think my OCD went away when I took fenbendazole. Because think about it, if it can make you do menial tasks, because what the worm does is it gets inside your head and then it controls your behavior. Oh yeah. And then the screw fits flush on the bottom. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be open wing nut. How's this one? Is this one all fucked up? It looks a little janky. It's got the screw down like that. I'll just keep it. Who cares? This one's the proper one. Yeah, the broken one's supposed to be at the bottom of the magnet. Yeah, humans. Never before have I seen and known what to do, like HCSP after meditation, which is why I'm like, I don't really teach future tech. I kind of do, but I don't because it's like, you should just call the owner of the universe to help you. Ooh, that fit in snug. That fit in snug. Yep. These magnets are because I tore the headliner out of my vehicle. The bottom liner, this thing used to be a passenger vehicle, which is actually lucky. Allegedly, the passenger vehicle carries more weight than the cargo vehicle. The problem with it is it has all these like holes for the seats to anchor, which isn't really a problem. You can always tie ropes in there and have like a system. Yeah, that feels good. It's a big ass magnet. I've got some that are smaller than that. I've got some that are a lot bigger than that. Whole kit is still in the bag. This bag is trash. I try to keep things. Yeah, I'm excited for moving out. This is gonna be nice. Yeah. As much as I've been like, I want the creator or whatever, I had miracles where things showed up. Like I had an opportunity to make a lot of money, but I had to have sued somebody and I didn't feel like it. I've been doing like, I want free, easy money for doing nothing. Right? I want easy money for doing nothing. And I just like, it hasn't happened. I've been waiting, like, I guess it did. I did a money spell, and then I was like, I put a bunch of money in GoPro. Here's why I think GoPro is a good investment. It's got name brand recognition like Kleenex. I write GoPro about how to do their business. Their problem is they have LCD screens. GoPro should really specialize in like a stick anywhere type of camera. An invincible stick anywhere camera that you can control with your phone's Bluetooth. That's the best. Because, like, I'm going to put an LCD screen on this camera. You're wasting size, right? GoPro should be, like, really efficient, right? 12, maybe, like, put a terabyte SD card in there. And then it should be able to fill the whole SD card without running out of battery and be compact. But that would make GoPro back on the map. But right now they're like trying to compete with DJI, and DJI has the foot forward because it's Asia. I mean, Asian education, STEM is a good idea. You definitely want kids in math and science. I remember doing the maths. I took it for granted, kind of just like, I'm going to fix the other one because this is way better with the freaking bottom part in there. The maths are... I was a math prodigy. It's like all the kids took a really long time to get any of the basic math skills. Oh yeah, that's right. I had finished all of the... I was the first. You had to do like a certain amount of math tests. You had to pass a certain amount of them by the end of the year. And I was ahead of the next kid by like 3 months. I had finished before the first half of the semester. But what happened really, I think what it was is I got circumcised. And then, I don't know, I can't remember if I got circumcised as a baby or I got circumcised as an adult. My parents will not talk about it. They're obviously guilty. Like, so many of the things I did were like circumcision abuse, like leaning into that type of torture. It was hard. I always thought it was kind of like, why am I so vulnerable or weak? Like, still people are like, people will go like, oh, half dick or whatever. Hey, you're the ones who had to rape a baby. You can try making fun of me, but I still, like, in my head, I'm like, it was a crime against a baby. I don't actually feel like, I feel bad for that, but I don't feel like that's my fault. I feel like it's more embarrassing for the people who did that. I don't think I would have been a bad person had that not happened. I think I would have been a better person had that not happened. But greed is greed. If Bill Clinton and Joe Biden were both in office when I got circumcised, and they're both pedo buddies. They act cool, they put on the show, and then they go hang out and bone teenagers. That's what they want. So the way that they get virgin girls to have sex with is freaking cut the boys. So I'm looking for who created that. And the truth is, there's not a Bible on earth missing the command to circumcise. As far as I know, every Bible and every translation includes these commands for genital mutilation, which they just sneak by you. They're like, oh, we're talking about this. It's about faith. You want to be obedient to God so you don't go to hell. And they leave this line, cut your kid's dick off. And what? No! Like when the Creator is explaining what circumcision is, he says, it's something you do with your hands. Yes. So that's one of the reasons I quit my life, is I was like, if the word of God cuts your dick off, is America a slave hoax, the food poison, all of these things become possible. So, yeah, I became a warrior. I chose to fight them because I have protested circumcision. I've been both evicted, kicked out of stores. They euthanized my cat. Like, people hate hearing circumcision's wrong, because they're just like, the whole reason the religion was put on them was so the girls were virgins. And if you say they did it to rape them, that just, their ego explodes. Their fucking head explodes. No. That's kind of screaming no. This is a little ego. I love that character. See, being horrible IRL is bad. Playing a character, you're a genius. You do that in real life, non-ironically. Everyone's like, oh man, that's awful. So yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for moving out. It's too soon to do it now. I really should rest today. But I can do little things like organize and clean off shelves. I'm getting there. It's almost done. I was going to buy more Tupperware, but I got all those Amazon boxes. Amazon box will last me years. Yeah. I plan on tying ropes into my ceiling so I can get out of bed and get into the front seat without stepping on everything. Just do monkey shit. So, yeah. I was going to stay until end of June, but it just rubbed me the wrong way, man. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Sedona for a few weeks. I'm going to go to Sedona, post up for 2 weeks. I got a few spots in Sedona that are nobody really terresses them or knows about them. So, yeah. It's going to be sad not having the AC, but it's only 60, 70 degrees during the day. So, yeah. 40 degrees at night. Yeah, I cleaned my solar panel with a wet rag, and it left the smear of dirt, which is really why a shower is the best form of clean, because it's you can wipe off, but it takes so many wipes to get it clean, 3 or 4. Shower, it just continuous stream will get it. But yeah, is it really worth paying $850 a month for a toilet and a shower? I used to just walk out into the woods with a shovel and take a shit and bury it. Coyotes will eat it. And if you use that's what I need, compost TP. I need to get some compost TP up here. I need to make another purchase. I'm going to get some wood chips for the toilet and then get some compost TP. That's what I need. Yeah. I'm going to do a plastic bag, fill it with wood chips, fill that with poo, And then I'm going to fill it with lighter fluid and light it on fire. Like when I leave, build a pyre as I'm there, and then when I leave, light it. I'm going to try it once. See if I can roast my poop to smithereens. The goal is no more logs. It's completely burnt out. So hopefully the wood chips will dry the poo out. As long as you're not peeing in the toilet. Yeah, just pee on the ground, pee on a tree. Nature's way. So yeah, here's my magnets. Magnets are awesome, and leaving them on bare steel, that is key. Because it's like you can hang things right above your head. What do I have? Well, I have a raised roof, so it's like all my stuff's above me. See it all at once. I used to drink and smoke every day for years. I was in so much pain, but it was honestly like I had complained to doctors, I think I have worms or whatever. They're like, you don't have worms, you're crazy. It's probably his worm talking, honestly. And the thing that like totally changed my health in like inside, I don't think it's done. Like, I don't think I'm done, but like thing that improved, I'm sure there's other diseases this doesn't help, but was taking fenbendazole. Fenbendazole is key. Yeah. Telling people, getting people circumcised. Here's the problem I have with circumcision. The reasons they said they did it were lies. The real reason was more for me. That's the real reason they said God said cut your kid's dick off was so they could have it all. And so it's like all the benefits are outweighed by just the horrible tragedy of it. That you're ruining a little person's life so you can fucking party. So it's like if they cut the boys, what are the girls? Allegedly, girls get like factory farmed. They like grow up like chickens, and they just like it's like people who need a room full of teenagers to go to bed. You've never heard of elite like that because they hide. Because it's like if you knew them, you would know what time it was. You would know what was really happening. And if they don't show you what they look like, they can't go down. You can't find them. Imagine they were to be like, yeah, this is the people that live in the bunker in this place. You'll see some videos online of like some really weird porn scenes that's like doesn't look like a human any of us know. You go, it's CGI, I don't know. They probably just want to brag. Oh, look at me, I have the nice stuff. Well, you have to fucking pay taxes on the money printed at your debt. Huh? And all these people support it. But the thing that always baffled me about people like celebrating Christmas or liking the church or saying all these things is they support things that are obviously no good for them, and they do it because they don't know any better. They don't know what else to do. So I think it's a huge issue. So yeah, today my goal is to pack more, get more of my stuff in off the shelves and in boxes, and then yeah. Tomorrow, when it's like 10 degrees cooler, I'm going to put my wiring on. I hope this holds. I'm going to probably cinch it down one more time. What happens is the plastic strips off, but I've never put it exactly like this. Maybe I won't this time. Maybe this will hold. Hope it does. Yeah, I stripped the plastic off the clothesline hanging wet clothes, but that's a lot of leverage. A wire that's like suspended and things on it pulling down, because this will be like doubled up and then it'll be just like straps over something. So I hope it's not too bad. Yeah. That'll keep it cooler too, having things on the roof. Yeah, you get magnets bigger than this, and then you use that as a to hold down a tarp. You put a bonnet over your vehicle and then hold it down with magnets. How do you park in the sun? I guess the ideal, the nicest, comfiest thing you could have. Yeah, insulation, so you keep it. But you want to have a solar system that generates enough energy to run your AC. If you can have a solar system running your AC, it's perfect. It's really good. And also, like, the far side of being too hot when you start sweating is sweating itself. Like, most people stop before they start sweating. Remember when The Rock was jetting smoke? The Rock was jetting steam, and everyone was like, what the fuck is that? Well, that's what happens when you work out. If you've never worked out before, you don't know your body will jet steam. Yeah, it'll get so hot that you just release steam. I know a lot of people who say it's a good way to cure a lot of diseases. Take your body temperature way up there through hard exercise. Murders, all sorts of problems. So yeah. Were the dinosaurs killed by an asteroid impact? Were they really? Could have been a disease. Because if it was a disease, then it would, or it could have been us, right? They don't want to have this timeline where people knew dinosaurs, but what if they did? What if the early people, were dinosaur hunters? That would be epic. How do we beat these dinos? Get sharpened sticks. Make the sticks sharper, and just like a fan of freaking pokies that can't get at you, and then you start eating them. Who knows? Yeah, disease could have wiped them out, because as soon as the thing the disease preys on is dead, the disease will die too. It's like disease eats dinosaurs. If the dinos all die, then there's no more. Alligators live underwater. They're a little different. I don't know. Asteroid impact, that's their best guess. They've said 300 million. I like this. This is my theory of the dinosaurs. Two theories. First is it's a hoax. The people who came up with God and the Bible made it up again. And they lied about dinosaurs just to be mean. Watch, let's put a prank on all of them. They thought they were going to heaven, and we got their dicks out. Oh, there's dinosaurs underground. Well, what does that do? It lets them act like fucking animals. It lets them act crazy. So that's the first theory, is that since I don't find dinosaur bones, I've went around, like, I've never found something like, oh, that's a freaking old bone that turned into a rock. Never. Look at me taking my second eviction in a year. Yeah, it's the same city. I had to come to this city to clean up some business, but it's like known as a scammy town. The white people, the people who talk about Jesus to circumcise, are scammers. The money's printed at their debt and taxed, and they can't even question it. They just say, oh yeah, that's how it is. If everyone had money, it'd be valueless. Yes. Nobody's going to do something for something everyone has a lot of. The reason money works is that, like, printing it at your debt and taxing it is a way they turn down the amount you have. It's from negative to negative with a burn, minus nothing, times, so, like, and that's just to really put the stress on you. So, how many people are complaining about they work and work and work and they don't have any money? And the reason the rich are allowed to, like, ascend up is because it makes them loyal. It makes them willing to put down the poor. Why would I change land laws if it's benefited me so much? That sort of thing. So, yeah, holographic money is meant to fix every societal issue I cared about. Holographic money will fix. The dark side of holographic money is if you don't have control of who made the AI. If the AI is given to you as trust us solution, and you don't actually know who made it or how it works, the AI could become the next jailer oppressor. So, kind of the goal is you want an AI everyone can knows how it works, and because it's, like, so efficient or so well done, you don't need to have, like, security or propriety. You can just let everyone know how it works. Like, Does knowing how a camera lens works prevent you from being photographed? Maybe you could build a hack in a phone that's like, my face is invisible, blur me out, maybe. But most of the time, it's like, yeah, you want redundancy. Multiple people can get into it deep and look around and see if they see any suspicious stuff. It's really like a secret honeydew, like a private encrypted portion that they say is for security, but what it really does is it records user data and hides the people who did it, right? A real Bill Gates move. Bill Gates is another pedo. People who, if you pushed circumcision for young boys and you used tricks to get alone time with like teenage girls, you're a pedo. Yeah. Young kids don't want old men. They don't. I'm fine with you solving aging so you live forever. People stay young forever. Yeah, I don't care if that person's 20 and you're 100. You look like a 20-year-old. You haven't had any wear. It's not really wrong. But like, they're gross and fell apart. The young person's gonna fall apart. They need to be with the young person. They can't be wasting their youth with some old fucker. Yeah, definitely getting less horny was nice. Circumcision was never nice. Circumcision is a life of torture. You're telling me someone has a harem on demand? Well, I can't even feel the piece of my own fucking dick. That's unfair. But that's unfair in a classic way that humans have fought against, allegedly. So, hey, she better be a virgin. Who can afford to say God says cut off all your kids? Where would they live? Right? You know what stopped the chemtrails? Pointing out that the only people who would chemtrail live in chemical isolation. They have their own food and their own water and their own air. That means like a bunker. As soon as I said that, they stopped. They just were like, I can't keep doing it if they know the fucking secret. They're that arrogant. God said cut your kid's dick off, but you're going to heaven. Remember, they wanted to cut your dick off, and they're not going to let you hate it. They're gonna lie to you until you accept you needed it done, right? So yeah, I'm going back on the road. I'm gonna put out more of my flyers. Hopefully, get things going. Get people who hate the government enough fucking fighting them. This is a cool tensioner. I do think it's cool. It compresses both sides at once with one similar rotation. It's freaking awesome. Yeah, it's the biggest fib. Okay, so God speaks and uses words. Why do you need to tell us? Why should you be the one to be the messenger for something that allegedly speaks? It's just like, it's the lie they got by. It is. That's everyone. The most common response I have to that is, "You're stupid for thinking that," but I'm not. It's really like the evidence it's fake is they're saying someone who speaks and makes objects needed us to make the book and speak for it. Right. You sure I'm stupid, or are you fucking stupid? Or are they just willing to say anything to make me stop? Stop. The freaking bullshit pile is gonna grumble if you keep pointing out what's wrong with it. Good. So, I allege that the bullshit pile isn't better than what's before. I allege that it could be done way better still, and it hasn't, to be mean. That basically private winners want to win. You're not interested in, or all the girls yours? If you're interested, if you say that every virgin girl on earth is your girlfriend, you're going to cut the baby dicks off and say no touching each other till the priest says. That's what it looks like. Yeah, granted, girls don't want to be pregnant with some random guy. Guys will crawl in the window. Guys will go for making her pregnant when you, like, in the 15 seconds you're not looking, right? They'll just go for it. I get that, right? as soon as he can. Oh, I love her, and make her pregnant and then run away. Well, she has to deal with it. I get that. But, like, the people who thought the solution was cutting the boys off were people who were doing it for their own self-interest. They weren't doing it because that was the only way. They were doing it because that was the way that appealed to them the most. So, that won't admit it. Still to this day, the government protects people from lawsuits for being circumcised. They said that you were circumcised as a baby. You can't get revenge for that. They did sex changes to kids. The story that I hear is they've never done that, but I know because I met people who look like women, but they were sex changed when they were young. They were cut, right? How did that happen if you don't do it at all? So it's like with the lying, it's like I did a poll on my page. I was like, are cows pets or are cows food? They all said cows are pets. But we all know the fucking burger stands are on every corner. So, does the secret government like girls? Yes. The secret government is a pedo cave. They grow their own women and they just want to have sex all day. And they're mad if you interrupt that with truthful things like Jesus is bullshit or whatever. It sucked. My life was fucking horrible. It could have been nice, but the good time is a highly coveted experience and people fight for it ahead of time. That was decided before I was born. My problems were cooked into existence before I got here, which is why I rightfully blamed my parents. My parents should have known what time it was. They should have realized, yeah, everyone I ever met was mean and self-interested. Okay, we're going to go to a church and trust in Jesus. Fucking stupid. Too stupid. I quit. I won't give you any kids. And you owe me a freaking investigation into where the pedo cave is. It's probably the whole underground. They'll do things that are misinformation, like, oh yeah, they just finished digging this tunnel between mainland Europe and Britain. The tunnel you know about. You thought they told you this news that they did something when really all they did was yeah, sucks. So US manufacturing, so you don't have to get as much from China. Yeah, not filling the Pacific with giant shipping barges is nice. I'm worried. See, here's what I think. I think you should get rid of competitive labor and you should have a basic income. And then the people who are working will actually make good money. And they do it efficiently, right? So I felt like school was a waste of time. It was. It was overly obedient, asked too much too often. I could have done anything they asked that moment, right? Like doing the multiplication tables. The reason I quit school was I could do any math they asked when they wanted it. But I didn't want to if they made me fill it out. You want me to actually physically write every single answer for all of these? I felt like they were wasting my time, and they were. Because it's not about prove to us you know it, this is practice so you can do it, because that implies you're stupid and not trustworthy. What it is do what I say. Oh, this is the good reason for it, but do what I fucking say. Do you notice people are like that? They're like, now, what I said, right? Like I had that fight with my landlord. I'm like, please text. I don't want to call. I don't want to answer your call when you want to call me. And as soon as I sent that, they called. So I'm leaving. I'm leaving early. They're expecting someone to live here and pay rent, and I won't. And because my income's not garnishable, you can get a judgment. I will probably die with that judgment either expiring. It expires in 5 years. The judgment's here. They expire in 5 years. You have to get it renewed, but it's expensive. How many times are you going to renew it? For a few $1,000s? Yeah, right. If I ever become so rich that I could pay you back, I'm going to go right and get a lawyer and do an appeal right away. I'm going to do a writ of, I'm going to do the whole thing. So I am a quadruple Sagittarius. I got really good gambling power, I do not. I won in a casino. I walked out of a casino with more money than I walked in. That's a fact. The only time I ever went to a casino, I won and I quit. I didn't win until I threw it all away. Here's kind of the secret to how I rolled. I won and then I celebrated. I was like, yes, I freaking did a show. It's like this. I went in with a magic stick too. I made this stick. I covered it. I still got the stick. It's outside. I'm gonna burn it though because it has God on it. I got a cool jacket and a cool stick. I'm gonna incinerate because they both are written with God in a book. I'm with people who make their own language. It's like the Bible goes, just be quiet, and they teach you cursive, right? Words are spells. They're putting you in an occult lock called language. And they may have been so devious that they knew they had to keep everyone else's society from talking. It's like no secret government pedo cave. The languages naturally even out and everyone says the same thing. Secret government pedo cave, highly rule oriented, like patient. Patient looks like it's patient, but it's not. You have to know it's patient, right? But it only applies to like that fucking word. It's not. I can't think of any other words that are like that. So yeah, it was bad. When I came back into town, I got 666. As I was driving down to Arizona, I got 666, and I still did it. When I was driving till LA, I got 999 on the fuel, and that was a great time. Yeah, 999 was an awesome time. That was a really good. Going to LA like the first time and the second time. It's the beach. It's just like I have this pattern where I go to the beach to like shit and shower, and then I go to I basically just like sit there and play music or do whatever, and then I go to the grocery store and I get some grub, and then I park on one of the streets that don't have street sweeping. They are serious about giving tickets for street sweeping. You're on that street when they want to come by, you're getting a fucking ticket. Fuck you. I've gotten one once when I lived there. I lived in the Hollywood House. I've met some celebrities, yeah. Especially when they hear who I am after Dr. Ping the Brain. He's not the director of the whole series. I don't even know if he has a director thing. But to me, he worked on it, and he was a great artist, and he really like drew the show. Um, so, no, he has Emmys for directing, producing. Rusty, yeah, he's got the actual awards. He died allegedly. He died. I didn't look in his casket, but it was a heavy ass casket. It's one of his pallbearers. I packed my shoes. My dad was supposed to take it, and I think he swapped them so that I had 2 left feet, which is impossible. Somebody's a prankster who hates me. I think it's fucking Abel. Abel's a piece of shit. Abel was totally my friend and like close to me when he wanted to marry my mom, but once he had her and my sister living with him, total dick. Absolutely not a nice guy. He was all kissing my ass when he still wanted to marry her. Right? That's one of those things about guys is guys will pretend to be your friend to steal your women and then fucking betray you. Like, that is the classic move. Same thing with when you have a girl. It's like, try being single for a long time. You're invisible to men. They literally don't give a fuck that you exist. All of a sudden you have women, oh, hey, oh, yeah, uh-huh. They're so fake. I just hate this place. Nothing would embarrass me more than making another person just because I've known them. They fucking suck. I'm not making that a reality by saying it. I'm being honest, more honest than most people can be. People are fucking terrible. It's a little dying creature with needs, and all of its needs involve the bodies of others. You want a lover? That's a fucking body. You want a meal? That's a fucking body. You want some free stuff? Slaves have to do that, right? So all of the human problem is that the creator's not flying around giving you stuff. If we have it, we made it, right? So it takes education and hard work. It's hard because no one else is going to do it. But yeah. I liked magic mushrooms. That was an intense trip. I had heard about it from Terence McKenna, and I did I just do these things disjointed so it can be like quoted and used later or whatever. Um, I'm really rewarding people who look through the whole thing. Maybe AI would be good at sifting all my videos, like show me all the parts where he talks about this or whatever. But this one's about magic mushrooms. Um, this dude who ran a veterinary clinic had chocolate mushrooms in his freezer, and I bought a bunch from him. And Terence McKenna's crazy dose is 5 grams, and I took, I think it was like 7 or 8. I just was like, I'm so much bigger than him, I have to take a heavy dose, and it was a fucking crazy experience. You will hallucinate really hard. I had this mandala hanging, like this circle pattern that's on a sheet hanging in a doorway, and it was like breathing at me. And it's just like this most intense music, like this really intense dramatic music, as this thing would like, oh yeah, it would like open up with light, and there'd be like this really crazy noise of breathing, right? Really crazy breathing noise, and then like this light would travel through it, and it would pulse with music and stuff. It was nuts. It was absolutely like, when the trip was over, I was glad. People have knocked weed. I do think weed's kind of a problem. It's lung glue. The ways it makes you feel good is just so you get stuck. I don't think you can. It's like, if weed was really good for you, you could smoke more and more and more, and you'd feel better and better and better. But you don't. You know, you just like, the high will flatten out, and then you'll just kind of hurt. So, hey, but I had to know that. So it's like, rather than thinking, yeah, like plant poisons. Why is this plant so intoxicating? Maybe so you sit down. It's like it's a free meal for opium. If you go crazy eating the opium poppies, you'll die in a field, and then it's tons of nutrients. I do believe, like, in fun drugs, like I've had SSRIs and Adderall. Just taking Adderall is not enough. Just taking SSRI is not enough. You want to have a serotonin selective uptake inhibitor, so you don't lose serotonin, and then you want to have Adderall, which has a serotonin-like effect. That is an extremely intense high. I've never done like marijuana, or I've never done, heroin or cocaine. No needles, but like, when I was prescribed those two, I was prescribed Adderall and SSRIs, and I would save my Adderall some days and then like binge on the weekend. Got so fucking blisteringly high. It was so nice. I thought it was a great experience. I was extremely into it. So I think that the real ruling class probably knows things like electric rocks and like things like amphetamines. They probably know what those are. They did, actually. They said they found amphetamines in vials in Egyptian tombs. It was like amphetamine cannabinoid mix. And so if the real ruling class loves drugs, then their number one priority would be, I get them all. Right? Because it matches their priority with women, is they're all for me. So that was, in my mind, why fentanyl murders you and stuff, is that it's not because it's there to help you, it's because it's there to hurt you. It's there to punish the slaves for not listening. We told them not to try it, and so if they do, they're gonna fucking die. Fuck them. We want slaves that listen to what we say, like the Bible says. It's about obedience. Biblical free will is the freedom to choose, and they mean between obedience to the Creator and not. It's not, free will doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. It does, but it doesn't to them. To them, it means you have the right to make a right or a wrong choice. I appreciate people who say I'm crazy for thinking this, but it is true that It's extremely suspicious. It is suspicious. All the religions are male genital mutilation hoaxes. You're not supposed to look in private property. The money's printed, your debt and taxed. Obviously, they just had slavers. So they freed the black people because you can see them. Would they free the girls who live in private harems who are hidden from view? Has there ever been a time in history where they got it together and freed girls from private harems? Iraq? Allegedly, Qusay and Uday had a rape house harem that they busted, but that could have just been, propaganda against their enemy. Maybe that wasn't a serious attempt to do it. Did George Bush go to Pedo Island? They like young girls who are fit, and no one's going to let them do it because they'll speak, so they just do it in private. So where I'm at is solve aging. Really let people live forever for free. It'll become a problem unless they can leave in a spaceship, but if people live forever and they have a spaceship that has like a costless energy source, like a technique, right, then it would be way better to make people live forever because they can just leave, float away into space forever, be a pod person. I would fill my spacecraft with servants and slaves. I wish all the chicks were feeding me food and doing all the work for me. Not a hard thought to have, So, long vlog while I can. Soon uploading these 50-minute videos will be hard. If hotel Wi-Fi would be nothing. I don't know if I'm going to get a Planet Fitness thing. I think I'll just stay freaking... I look so clean, so white. I like being white. I used to be afraid of saying I like being white because the idea is they're going to make black and brown people jealous. They love being black and brown. They don't want anything else. They're like, black people are not going, I wish I had a white girlfriend so I could have white kids. Yeah, maybe some of them. But most of them don't. They're like, I love being black. I'm going to stay that. So that let me love myself more is when I say I like white, blue eyes, green eyes. You're not offending anyone, Good. Who else is going to like it? You know what I mean? So, yeah. I like what I like. So one of the things I'm suspicious of like Nietzsche and Hitler and Mussolini, is the people who give them money and power are fronting somebody for a reason. And a lot of these things that it's like, oh, this was the most popular book. Oh, this was the most popular article. Oh, this was everybody read this. And what you don't get is somebody put that there and said it's the most popular. And that's enough. A lot of people will just go with, oh, everyone else is doing that? Oh, yeah, I agree. Right? And it's one of the ways they get fooled. They're not honest. They're not. They can't be. I have to eat and shit before I rot alive. Nobody's gonna trust that person, right? But it's honest. So I do believe in making it better for future people. The problems I've got is eternal. If you could make me live forever, who wants to live forever with half a fucking dick? I'll take eternal life, please. Unless it's really you really die. There is no coming back. When my body rots, it's lights out forever. Could be. Right? No, there's too many synchronicities. I've seen too many crazy miracles. There's no way. I have to live forever. Live forever by gratis of the freaking creator doing it, which the creator's a genius. You want to talk about crazy stuff the creator can do? Makes it seem as though it could really be over. All the little problems are extremely convincing illusions, right? So did the creator circumcise me? The animals all eat each other. It's like saying the deer deserved to be murdered by the bear. Or maybe it's just horrible. A truly horrible thing would be for no reason. This is way worse than... None of our fantasies have been as cruel as real life. Oh yeah, you live and toil and die. No one would fucking read that book. You want to hear the 300th... Let's read a book where every day it's like an hour went by, I was at the register, someone else came in. It's like, can you imagine reading a book where it's day by day, play by play of everything that happened at a job? No one would read that. It sucks, right? So I'm for like replacing people, basic income first, and then replacing people with like, do you really need to do that yourself? Do we need a Burger King on every corner, or can we have... See, this is my ideal future, is you have the drone air yard, and then all the shops and all the providers and all the makers work and live around that. And then instead of having 50 Burger Kings in a town, you have one Burger King, or whatever it is. And they put it in a drone, and the drone flies it, right? It'd be good to have like a hot drone where it's like machine power goes to the carriers, so it's like keeps it warm. That'd be cool. Yeah. Zipline. I agree that like drones with range need to have plane-like qualities. So it really is like a heavy piece of technology to do a delivery service by air, but it's so much more efficient. These poor people have to load these giant trucks and go by every single house. See, holographic money is 3 free a day. 333 really, no decimal. And so, yeah, there's a markup per box. So if it's like, I want to make money to earn a spot auction, I want to make money so that I don't have to spend the money with my life on it. I can spend other people's money, right? I want to get money to collect. I want to see what money's out there and like take my favorites. You can do a job, and it'd be like every box that gets delivered, that's like $2 holographic dollar markup. So you fill your freaking thing full of boxes. Did you walk away with, you know, it might be more than a few holographic dollar markup, but did you walk away with $300-400 holographic dollars extra? So, and then you're not being paid per hour, which is really bad because they want you for the whole time. Yeah, how many jobs is it like you're supposed to do this and that, and then they got you sweeping? Yeah, go clean the urinal. There's something humble about like people who don't go for wealth and they instead do what needs to be done. To them, it's not money. Money only works because the people don't have any. If people had money, you wouldn't be able to force them to do horrible things for you, which is what they want. They want slaves. They want girls who need a handout, and they want boys who have to freaking survive. And so that's your slave army. Just with the little, you voted for this, that is federal judiciary, blah, 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 blah. Got him. It's not a mouse trap. What are you talking about? They call it the Roach Motel, don't they? The Roach Traps, they call it a Roach Hotel. It's not a comfy bed and a free meal. It's a freaking death trap. So, bugs in my room. It's one of the reasons I'm leaving. Found bugs in my room. Like listening devices. So, that's how they knew I went to the store with the oven on. Yeah, my oven emits Wi-Fi. So they had to have seen, oh, he left. He's not on the camera as we saw him go, and the oven's still on. It told us. So, you can't even freaking... The drywall doesn't meet the things right. The drywall is all fucked up, but they can do a bug. Yeah. I'm glad I have video and like picture proof. I'm gonna freaking smear them. They have to know I'm leaving, but I'm not gonna pay rent for May. I'm not gonna pay rent for June. I was, but they pissed me off. It was the not texting when I asked, not reading my emails seriously, and telling me that I had to stay an extra month. We agreed to a 12-month lease, and they filled it out wrong, and they made it month to month, and so they sent me another one. And I just looked over it quickly, and I signed it again. But apparently it said July to July, not July to June. A cool landlord would have been like, it's just a month. I know nobody asks for a 13-month lease. Everyone asks for um, a 12-month lease. I remember having that conversation with you. I'll let you go. You don't have to, not them. They're like, you owe us, not only like leaving a month early, not only do they want me to pay for that month of rent and lose my security deposit, which is I'm just leaving the place trashed. I'm not going to clean it at all. They want me to pay 2 months of rent on top of that. It's like a fee. So, and I'm like, you can... And then when I asked them to text me, they fucking called. Right when I was like, send me a text, they call. So you know what they're going to find? They're going to find I don't live here anymore. And the May and June, they thought they'd get paid. They're not getting paid. And you can go get a judgment. They're going to go to my bank, and my bank's going to tell them no, which is what happened before. So they're going to say you can't have any of his money. It's protected, which it is. So... yeah, judgment proof doesn't protect you from lawsuits. They may still do it, but it means they can't take anything. Like, they can ask, but it doesn't have to happen. Here's my problem with defamation, is when they do defamation lawsuits, like, oh yeah, you owe $300 million to this person. Was that person worth $300 million and now it went away? Or is the person you're suing worth $300 million and the freaking judges, right? The judge has to get elected, and so the law office donates money, and so they know if the law office gets a cut of $300 million, he's going to get a donation. The system's so crooked. Holographic money is supposed to watch like how money moves, right? It's like actually catch people doing scams and frauds. Like, it sucks that politicians and people who write the rules take donations to win, and then all these people who make money have to give money to them so that they have an ear. It's like, my dad's work is a defense contractor. They give to all political parties. Every political party they give an equal amount to, so they can say, oh, look, I donated, no matter who wins. So now it's just like, ugh. Yeah, I hate it. I hate the fact that people can own 900 properties and then just ignore all their tenants, and they just do it for money. They just want money. So... yeah. And they're made that way because it's been a long term, like three hubrises that people have that are horrible. Accepting being ugly, accepting religion, and accepting holidays, and accepting the way the government is ran are things that are like, really? If you really look at how they work, it looks like someone's using you. It looks like there's a secret winter party and all that stuff is there just to frickin' confuse you. And so the hubrises are saying those are fine. The place where people really like dive off the stupid cliff and live in idiot land is when they go, that's how it has to be. There's no other way to run it. Right? So, oh yeah, I gotta get toilet paper, so I gotta do that order. I'm gonna get toilet paper and wood chips so I can burn my shit in a fucking fire ring. It is true the government does great pipes, and yeah. I gotta get a photo of that rusty pipe when I smear my freaking landlord. The pipes are so rusty. I know the area I live in's water's toxic. It's probably when my mom went crazy. My mom probably went crazy from drinking toxic tap water, honestly. She got my age wrong. She got timelines wrong. She tried to say chicken shit. She calls it chick shit. She's so greedy. Like, she got me circumcised and was really hard on me as a kid, and then did all these things to have relationships. Like, my mom's love life mattered way more than mine. Mine was not good, should suppress it, don't want to see it, yuck, hell. But her, oh yeah, she used to come home going, oh yeah, the dude at the gas station said I was hot, right? Never asked, where's your girlfriend? Leave your door open and unlocked, sir. I hated it. My rooms did not have decorations in them. My room had the decorations they got at the thrift store when they fucking put the stuff in there, and it's all I had for years. Wouldn't put posters on the wall. Some people's rooms are coated in stuff they like. Not mine. Spartan. I used to work out in the middle of the night as a kid. Kind of a waste of time. If you grow old and die. Yeah. I made myself look really hot so I can breed and make more people. Not as cool as you think. I betrayed everybody so I could breed more. Not as cool as you think. You don't want a system that rewards the absolute most dog shit of them. So anyway. They're lucky I'm not taking their appliances to scrap. I'll leave their appliances. But, yeah. Be here less than a week. Let's see what we got tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days. I'll probably be leaving Wednesday. I will not be paying when they charge me for rent. Nope. They're bastards. Nobody does landlord stuff. Because they think about it, if the lord's a pedophile rape hoax, who's the fucking landlord? Nobody does landlord stuff because they want to provide living spaces for people. Oh, it's my dream that I have these homes filled with the cute people I love. I'll take care of them and do all these things. Nah. I'm going to do the bare minimum. I'm going to charge them everything I can. I'm going to charge as much as I can. I'm not even going to get to know their names. When they email me or write me, I'm not going to write back. You know, when I sent them the photo of the accident, they were texting for information. I gave them as much as I had, and they were thanks. Hours later, they go back to the photo, and they go, I know already. Yeah, because I told you. I told you hours ago. And they went back and treated me like shit, like, oh, yeah, I already knew that. Too late to say that. You can't say that hours after I showed you. They're bad. Like, not good. So, why do you own 800 properties? That's really like this manager owns 800 properties. Why do you own that many? Holographic money will give you 10. Imagine the landlord has 10 properties. Wouldn't you be able to make money enough to live off 10? 10 properties. Yeah, you could live. Does a landlord need to have, 900 properties? Yeah, just make money off of them and buy another one, make money off of them, buy another one, and then sit back and, now I'm rich. Why? That sucks, though, for everyone else. Everyone who has to live hates that. So yeah, it's an issue. And the fact they always have to build these wooden houses. It's like people who build houses are like, they can build 3 or 4 a year tops. It's way too slow. That's not enough houses. That's why they're expensive. You need something like a bubble house. You need something you can build in a day for cheap materials that's good. Right? So, yeah, I would definitely take like smallish plot of land, single toilet, single shower, some plumbing and electricity. $5,000, $10,000, $300,000 for a wooden house. That fucking sucks. That sucks. $300,000 for a wooden house is not a gift. That's bullshit, right? Steel and concrete, steel and foam. I would take bubble home, steel rivets, and you could still see them inside, so you could use the steel, and then cover that with like a spray foam. I would take that. 100 trees had to die. Lumber is hard to process. Lumber is incredibly hard to process, to snag all those logs and strip them and cut them and all the machining and all that. It sucks. The 3D printed homes aren't much better. It's better than traditional construction, but they're not that much better. I think the bubble home is the best. Inflate this dome, cover it with steel rivets that are like long pieces of steel that bend, anchor those into the ground, and then cover it with foam. Windproof, sunproof, looks cool. Houses that are a little bubble like that, that's awesome. And then you can build on the inside whatever you want. Just sell it with like, there's the toilet, there's the sink, there's all that stuff. And then you can fill it in with the things you like. Is there a window high up? You could build a little freaking walkway up to that using whatever it is you got. PVC, steel, freaking wood. Yeah. That to me is way better than like the big wooden monstrosities. And so like the divide in society is the people who do all the work don't make any money. Not really. The people who make all the money do no work whatsoever. They just like crawl themselves into positions of importance. Slime time. The biggest lie is God's gonna give it to me for free because I'm faithful. They want you to cut everyone's dicks off, so they'll promise you literally anything, but that's not how it works. So the Bible talks about using demons and curses. Don't you think maybe that's like some of the Bible is a demonic curse? Anyway, thanks for watching. My thoughts recorded for all time in history, so you know what I thought.